Good evening, guys, and happy Tuesday to all of your sunshiny faces. Guys, I thought I'd share with you guys so far what I was able to get done for Thanksgiving, doing the pre-cooking / baking things and stuff like that. I think I'm done with most of the more difficult stuff that still, pretty much needed to be done. The only thing is that my dad has got to peel the sweet potatoes. And once those are done, I can do the mashed sweet potatoes as well. But I did 3 things today, and then Matthew also got one of the 2 desserts done as well. So the other thing that I did was I actually did a good chunk of laundry today, got all the stuff done in the bathroom and ran a full load. Also my little pilgrim over my shoulder. But I finished that. I also did like 2 loads of dishes. I still have got a little bit of stuff from the mashed potatoes because I actually kind of made too much mashed potatoes, but you really can never have too much mashed potatoes. But kind of made almost more than enough and ended up actually having to dirty 2 pots right now. I was scared. I didn't want them to boil over, so that's why I was like, I'm gonna split it between 2 pots, so I do have 2 extra pots that are dirtied. But guys, which, oh, you're not gonna be able to see it because I have everything jammed in here oh so perfectly. I actually made this, which is a cranberry relish sort of, which I'll be honest, my mom gave me the recipe and she was not totally like, I don't know, she was not feeling good today, and so she was giving me the recipe and I was like, okay, so I did it, but then I was like, I really don't know, like, we'll find out if it tastes good. I think I ended up kind of pulverizing it instead of like just little pulses like I'm supposed to do with the food processor, and I think it turned into like a way more like mash sort of than I think maybe it was supposed to be. And then the other 2 things that are down here, we've got the cheesecake is done, that Matthew did from pretty much scratch. And then also I've got macaroni and cheese that me and Jack did. I think the macaroni and cheese is going to turn out really good because we actually added some garlic salt and also some onion powder, and I thought it actually tasted like really good. I had a little bit because, I got to clean the spoons off afterwards, so it tasted just a little bit. The same thing with the mashed potatoes too. I also did the mashed potatoes, so that is in the fridge. I feel like we don't really have enough room to do a whole ton of other stuff, but the mashed sweet potatoes, I only got 4 sweet potatoes. Really, my dad's the one that likes mashed sweet potatoes the most, so like we don't want to overdo it with the sweet potatoes, so I can probably put that actually in a smaller glass jar instead of using one of the bigger ones that we have, which is what I used for the other stuff. But I'm probably going to do the brown and serve rolls in here as well because we got 6 of them in total. I used 2 that are already in the fridge, and I have another 2 packs, so I have 4 more. So I think that again we'll do the brown and serve rolls because those have to be cooked in the oven, and I'm trying to see, I don't really know what else like needs to really be pre-made. I think a lot of this stuff is going to be things like I can do the stuffing in there too, but that is like an on Thanksgiving sort of day. I don't want to pre-make the stuffing. I don't know that that would be good. Like it'd probably be super like insanely like mushy. So yeah, I think for the most part, like I said, we got kind of everything handled and taken care of and all that kind of stuff. Matthew's got the one other dessert to make, and then yeah, I think like I said, we've the green bean casserole and obviously the turkey, which we're going to do in the roaster. So we have like tomorrow to kind of finish up, do whatever else prep we need to do, and then we should be like I said, pretty good. And again too, like I've got the cucumbers for like the sandwich, sort of like, I don't know if they call them like tea sandwiches or something like that, but see, I think those are more like the white bread, like little like, I think they're called tea sandwiches or something like that, but these are sort of different. They're like the little ones with the pumpernickel and rye breads. And then we've also got, I have to make the homemade bruschetta. I think I'm going to do that tomorrow just because I feel like that's going to be a bigger pain, and I can just put it in a Tupperware and then like put it in something else. Like I think we have a little serving pumpkin that we can use for the bruschetta. So like this little pumpkin, I'll probably wind up putting it in, but while it's in the fridge, I think I'm just going to put it in like a Tupperware. So hopefully again, that shouldn't take up too much space, because I'm also worried, I'm like, I don't want to run out of refrigerator space, and then us having to try and squeeze things into place places where, you know, it winds up being all crazy. So we did have enough room for those two things. And like I said, I felt like the mac and cheese and the regular potatoes are going to be the bigger thing that I was going to have to worry about. The sweet potatoes will also kind of be a big thing, but I think we're pretty good, like I said, prep wise, as far as most of this stuff goes. So 2 days ahead for some of those things, so we don't have to worry a whole crazy ton and all that kind of stuff. And then on top of that too, I took the turkey out, let it sit out for a little while to defrost, just because I don't want it to still be frozen in the middle either. Like while I was in here cooking, I let the turkey just sort of sit for a while and put it back in the fridge again. So I think I might do that again tomorrow while I'm doing some other stuff, just because I don't want it to sit out for too long, but I want it to, you know, warm up a little faster than just in the fridge, because I want to make sure it's not frozen in the center. Obviously we don't want to eat frozen turkey. So yeah, but I think like for the most part the outside is pretty much, you know, defrosted. It's just whatever's on the inside. So I saw somebody was posting, if you had like, you know, it was like one of those little like helpful things on Facebook or whatever. It's like, if your turkey was between this and this much, you want to make sure that you get it moved from the freezer to the fridge on, like, I think between a 20 and like 25 pound or something like that was supposed to have been moved by Friday. We got ours on Saturday. So I was like, yeah, maybe we want to put it out a couple times on the, you know, counter just to make sure it's like defrosted. So like I said, I'm thinking by Wednesday, or not Wednesday, Thursday Thanksgiving. I think by Thursday we should probably be good, not have to worry so much about, you know, like I said, the turkey and all that. But like I said, as far as everything else, I went down my list too, was like, okay, I actually did like things that need to be made on Thanksgiving, things that we can pre-make, and so I think we're pretty good. I don't know, the potatoes I'm not a huge fan of right now. I think maybe I added a little bit too much sour cream. It tasted very sour creamy. And so like everything else tasted pretty good, but it just tasted like an overabundance of sour cream. So yeah, I had they were making sweet potatoes from the Taste of Home magazine from like 95, I think. I'm pretty sure they've like redone the recipe, but that was just the recipe book that I had. So I pulled the one out of there. It's like cream cheese, sour cream, butter, onion salt, or no, not onion salt, onion powder, I think, and then maybe a little paprika as well over the top. And then you just throw it, it's mega head potatoes, you throw it in the oven, and I think you bake it for 40 minutes at like 350, which I think is gonna be the same we're gonna do with the macaroni and cheese. And the brown and serve rolls, I think just going for a couple of minutes, probably at like 350 or something like that too. So we can just throw those sort of in the end, or no, it says 425 for 5 to 6 minutes. So yeah, just to get those all nice and toasted up right at the end. So yeah, and then the green bean casserole too is kind of the same thing. I don't even see it probably being more than like half an hour or something like that. We got like I said, Thanksgiving stuff started, and like I said, kind of the part that I was like, this is gonna be super overwhelming. Like the mashed potatoes was what I was kind of freaking out about a little bit, and then also too Jack's mac and cheese, which I think we're gonna have the mac and cheese turn out really good. Like I said, it tasted really good. We added some onion powder and some garlic salt to that extra, and then also too we added cheese and like a bread crumb like top as well. So I think once we throw it in there, that cheese, the extra cheese we added over the top is gonna get that like nice crispy crust over it, and it's gonna be really tasty. So I am hoping that again we can get all of that to turn out. It's just like I said, there's a couple things that like I can't really make ahead. Like I was saying, the sandwiches, you know, the stuffing I don't really want to. The sweet potatoes I can, but the green bean casserole, like because I'm gonna use frozen green beans, I don't want them to get all like sort of weird and mushy and stuff like that. I mean, I know they're supposed to turn that way, but like I don't know, I just don't want to leave them out. It's not like they're canned or anything like that. Like because they were frozen, I don't want them to be like super like, you know, I don't know, just turn weird and stuff. So without like cooking them either. So and just like leaving them in the fridge. So like I said, I'm gonna wait on that, but yeah, like I said, there's a handful of things that I gotta wait on before I can make any of this stuff. I honestly, like I said, I don't know if that cranberry relish turned out. I never really liked it, but when I tasted it, I was like, okay, I really don't like this. Like something didn't taste right with it. And I've never, like I said, been a huge fan of it. I'm not opposed to cranberries, and like I will sometimes eat a little bit of it, but I don't know. My mom was, like I said, not feeling good, and I was like, can I get the recipe for this? And like, should have just had her like write it down for me, and then been very like careful to follow it. But I was just like, okay, like we had to add crushed pineapple. So I was like, okay, some crushed pineapple. And I was like, you know, she was like, like a third. First she said a half of a can, then she said a whole can, then she said a third of the can, then she said a fourth of a can. And I was like, I don't know how much to add anymore. So we'll see. Like I said, my mom's really the only person that really likes that. My dad will sometimes eat it, and like I said, I might have like a little taste. But that's like my mom's like favorite thing, and it's like a family recipe too, but I'm just not a fan. And so when I taste tested it to make sure if it turned out or not, I was like, I actually don't know that this was right. So yeah, I don't know. We will see. If it doesn't turn out, like I said, it's not like everything is ruined. It was a small portion of something that really one person really likes. And so, you know, like I said, I have watched my mom make it before. I semi knew what to add to it, but I don't know how much she adds, or like, you know, you also have to add some sugar to sweeten it up. And like, she was like, oh, like, I don't know. She gave me some, I think she was just really not feeling good, because she was like, 3/4 of a tablespoon. And I was like, I don't think that's enough. And she's like, no, 3 or 4 tablespoons. And I was like, okay, that sounds a little bit more right, but which one is it, 3 or 4? Like, do I just taste test it? And like I said too, I think I pulverized it. So it turned out a little bit more juicy than I think it was supposed to. It's supposed to be a little thicker. And it turned into more of like an applesauce, I think. And I think it was supposed to. I don't know. We'll see. But, you know, like I said, I think the mashed potatoes maybe taste a little bit more sour cream-like, but maybe too, letting them sit for like 2 days in the fridge for them to really get that onion sort of like aroma going might be good. And then also to the mac and cheese. I think that will be a big success. I'm hoping. And I'm hoping the potatoes at least taste good. My other thing too is that I stood at the counter probably for like a good hour making sure that I got all of the lumps out. I don't like lumpy potatoes. I like my potatoes to be nice and pulverized. And at the time, Matthew was in the kitchen using the hand blender, because like you can do potatoes like with the blender and stuff like that, or not the blender, the mixer. Matthew's using a hand mixer, and I could have put it in the KitchenAid, but I had more than what was going to probably fit in the bowl at a time, and I was like, I don't want this to stick to everything. So it was just like, I'm going to do it by hand. So I stood there for probably an hour while Matthew was doing the cheesecake, and like I said, he was using that, so I couldn't. And so I just stood there and was like, I'm gonna make sure all these lumps get out of the potatoes. So I don't like no lumpy mashed potatoes. So hopefully, like I said, that will also have turned out well. But yeah, guys, we'll see. I don't know. I'm just concerned because, again, I don't normally do Thanksgiving dinner. Like, you know, maybe if I have, it's been like, oh, I'll make the potatoes, or, you know, something, because I really like this potato recipe that I've made. And so, you know, but normally that, like, I'll do one side dish or something like that. My mom's normally in charge of most of it. So I'm like, I don't know how Thanksgiving's going to turn out this year, because, again, she's had her surgery, so she can't, you know, do a whole ton. And she was like, her contribution was she really wants to make like cinnamon apples. And I was like, okay, maybe, but like you guys can see, I don't really know we're going to shove anything else in the fridge. So I don't know. We'll have to figure that all out. The other thing too is that, like, I think I have 2 things of broccoli and a thing of cauliflower in there. If I could get that all chopped up and put in Tupperware, we might have a little bit extra space. But it's just because like weird shapes of, you know, like vegetables in there, like circular, you know, like broccoli and cauliflower sort of floating around in there. Like, at least if it's in Tupperware chopped up, it will fit in stacks sort of. And so we might have more room. So I might look into doing that tomorrow too, so we can get a little extra space in the fridge. But the one big problem is that we've got a giant bird in the fridge right now. So yeah, that's what's taking up, like, I mean, we'd have room for like stacks on stacks of like all kinds of side dishes and stuff if we weren't keeping a 21-pound turkey in the fridge right now. And again, trying to also shove some other pre-made stuff in there. So yeah, by actual Thanksgiving, when we can get the actual turkey out of there, we'll be lucky that we have room again. But by that time, we won't need to store anything else in the fridge for pre-making stuff. So anyways, guys, I will see you all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.